one of the most interesting DC Multiverse releases of late, or reveals of late, I think, is the new Flashpoint Flash. And this one is part of the new Target exclusive wave. And one of the things that makes him so interesting, Soulmates, is that he's going to have an additional head. This is not something we see at all, really, from DC Multiverse, but it's something that people have been asking for again and again and again from McFarlane Toys to include an extra head sculpt. And sure enough, he has an unmasked head sculpt, and he also has this little flash mask that you can hang around his neck before you put the extra head on. I had some tentative feelings about the Flash here, but overall, I think I'm gonna say that I like this one. The reason that I had some hesitant feelings about it is because I do notice that his details are painted on him. That worries me a little bit when I see that kind of thing, because on McFarlane's DC Multiverse, one of the hallmarks of their line for me is the texture, and that's one of the things I love about the DC Multiverse line, and I don't want to see them iron that out, if you know what I mean, guys. I want to see them keep that around, because it's what makes their line so distinct and unique. When we get things like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, I know that the Marvel Legends collectors love that stuff a lot, but this isn't Marvel Legends, and I don't want it to be Marvel Legends. I want it to be its own thing. I don't want McFarlane to iron out DC Multiverse like that. But I do like the way this Flash looks, and I think that this might push me over the edge to start thinking about collecting the entire wave. Also, I don't already have an Aquaman, so I guess it wouldn't be too much of a stretch for me to go get Aquaman too. But this is just such a unique release because it's got two different head sculpts. The head sculpt looks phenomenal. I love the work on this. God, that looks so good. And this looks good too. These are two awesome head sculpts. The hands look pretty good too. They got just the right pose for Barry and his running. And if we scroll down a little bit, yeah, the costume is a little plain. And if we get down to it, we see that his boots are probably the most textured bit on his entire costume. Still, I like the action figure, and I really want to see more of it very soon. Now, if you guys haven't checked out a lot of the other stuff from this particular wave, here's some of the other action figures that we're getting that have appeared at Target. Now, this one is Project Superman. This was the second action figure in the wave that was revealed. I felt really ambivalent about this one because this one uses the John Kent Superman body. And I like the head sculpt on this one, definitely, but all they really did was they took the John Kent Superman body that's been making the rounds recently on Nightwing and obviously John Kent Superman, and who else has it appeared on? Oh, Beast Boy. It's appeared on a few different action figures, and I wish it would kind of go away because I don't like it. On every action figure it appears on, he just looks bow-legged. And this is supposed to represent like this skinny Superman from Flashpoint, who's been experimented on by the government during the storyline and is all malnourished and everything, and he doesn't look quite right. Like, that's what he looks like during the series. And here's what he looks like in action figure form. It might be worth getting it because I don't have a John Kent Superman either, so I wouldn't mind having just one for like reference, but also we're getting into the territory of talking about, well, okay, we're spending $25 here for a reference action figure, and then we're spending, you know, $25 over here just to have an Aquaman because you don't have an Aquaman. At what point are we getting the action figures because you know, actually want to have the action figures? And in that case, we're talking about the Flash, because the Flash does look pretty sweet. This is definitely my favorite one so far, and I hope that once we see some full reveals, once we see him up for pre-order, that he's going to be just as exciting as he is in these promo photos. And of course, the first action figure in this particular wave, guys, is, well, we all know, Aquaman. And like I said, I don't really need to say it again, but this Aquaman is interesting. I mean, that face has kind of gotten people a little bit, I think, riled up a little bit because I think people have been saying that he's kind of got a goofy face, and I actually don't mind the face. I know that people are bothered by it, but it doesn't bother me that much. The thing that does bother me, though, is that he doesn't really have, like, the accurate belt. Like, even on the artwork over here, you see that he's got a different shaped belt than what you see on the action figure. And would it really have been that difficult for them to make a diaper for him? Like, you pretty much have all the other ingredients already there. You don't really have to work that hard to make this Aquaman. You could have just made a different diaper and called it a day, but I guess they just didn't feel like it. The Build-A-Figure for this wave is Cyborg, and as we can see here, Aquaman comes with the torso of Cyborg. That's what it looks like there. It looks like there's some nice detail on that. I think Cyborg is the reason to get this wave, because it seems like all the sculpting work, all the original work has gone into the Build-A-Figure here. That torso looks really neat there. And then Project Superman, he comes with the arms of Cyborg. That's what they look like. And yeah, there's some more great sculpting on that. Lots of nice details. And oh wow, yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, the pegs. They look very big and round, and boy, those look like they're very sturdy. I'm a little bit relieved right now because I was kind of afraid when I saw those pegs that they were going to be very long and narrow, and those types of pegs have given me a huge problem on, like, Darkfather, for instance. I had to get an arm from an entirely new Superman from that wave in order to build my Darkfather, and boy, I wasn't in love with that, but thankfully these look much sturdier. Oh, what a relief. I think I can endorse this wave now. This Build-A-Figure looks like it's going to be tight, guys. The Build-A-Figure is the reason to own this, but also the other reason is Barry Allen, the Flash. The classic Flash that everyone wants. Here he is from Flashpoint. I don't know what Build-A-Figure part he's going to come with. I just know that he's going to come with another part of Cyborg. And I think that the fourth and last action figure from this Flashpoint target wave, guys, is going to be Wonder Woman. We already have Flashpoint Batman, two different versions of him that are out there. And if you miss the original one, he's going to be a little bit expensive. I wish that he would get reissued at some point. Although if he does get reissued, he's not going to have his guns, unfortunately. But Thomas Wayne is still available if you want Thomas Wayne. Yeah, Wonder Woman, pretty sure, is going to be the one to be released, because Wonder Woman, if you remember Flashpoint, everyone, she's having herself a little bit of a battle with Aquaman. The nation of Atlantis and the nation of, oh god, where does Wonder Woman live? I forget. Oh, Themyscira? God, what a great head sculpt. That head sculpt is so good. Look at that. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on over there, McFarlane, but they're really pumping out some great head sculpts, bro. Yeah, I think that if you want a good classic Flash, this is like the one to get, because it looks pretty much like a classic Barry Allen. Well, Barry, welcome to the party. You are one of the few, one of the proud, to get an extra head, buddy.